Leeds Third Sector Strategy sets out a shared vision for how the third sector in Leeds should work and what we need to do to get there. 6,500 people are employed in the third sector in Leeds, and another 40,000 people volunteer with a huge wealth of skills, relationships, experience and wisdom which this strategy looks to build upon. The third sector describes a wide range of not-for-profit groups who are self-governing and independent. Our shared principles describe the way that the third sector works together with partners in Leeds, including the public sector, private businesses and universities. Working in a way that ultimately benefits people and communities living in Leeds, which is most important of all. The importance of delivering preventative measures where possible. Investment in the resilience of the third sector so that it can play its crucial role in supporting communities. The importance of working together in partnership. A commitment to one workforce, which means that people working in the third sector shouldn't be disadvantaged in comparison to those working in other sectors. And finally, the third sector being an equal and critical partner, both in Leeds as part of the West Yorkshire Health and Care Partnership and the West Yorkshire Combined Authority. In Leeds, there is one overarching city strategy that connects a wide range of collective ambitions under one overall ambition, for Leeds to be the best city in the UK. We believe that the third sector ambitions in this strategy are crucial to achieving the best city ambition. Leeds needs a diverse and resilient third sector in order to be the best city. This diagram shows the relationship between the third sector strategy ambitions and the best city ambition under the three pillars. The factors listed within the three circles draw out some of the areas where the third sector has a crucial role in supporting the city's achievement of the three pillars. The green box includes examples of third sector strategy ambitions that will have a substantial impact on progress against the three pillars. For example, making volunteering more accessible, inclusive and valued will support work to ensure climate action is community-led. Furthermore, a diverse and resilient third sector is critical to ensuring that community voice is at the heart of decision-making across the city. This diagram shows the infrastructure needed to achieve the third sector strategy ambitions and some of the added value achieving these ambitions will bring to the city. Essential infrastructure. These are things that we need to invest in getting right. A strong workforce, digital infrastructure and physical assets such as buildings will provide the conditions needed to achieve the strategy ambitions. Third sector strategy. These ambitions outline our vision. They support and are supported by wider city strategies. For example, strong partnerships with the third sector are a vital part of Leeds achieving its ambitions towards a more inclusive economy. Value generated. These are some of the ways that Leeds as a city will benefit from achieving our third sector strategy ambitions. A strong third sector attracts more inward investment into the city, and a shared vision will allow us to direct efforts towards opportunities that align with Leeds' priorities. The importance of the sector isn't just about the additional value it can bring. Third sector organisations provide essential capacity and capability to reach and connect with the most marginalised communities. Reduced capacity and funding in Leeds third sector will have the biggest impact on communities experiencing the most significant inequalities. So what are we trying to achieve? Our overall ambition is for Leeds to be a city where all partners work together to ensure that the third sector is more diverse and resilient, and therefore better able to continue supporting our communities. There are a number of ways we think we can achieve this. Partnerships. Our ambition is for public sector organisations, businesses and the third sector to work together in a fair and equitable partnership as a whole system to make Leeds the best city to live in. Partners will be open and transparent, and leaders will actively share their decision-making power in Leeds.
Definitely partnership working, it's really important to sort of fill any gaps that you feel you might have, but then linking up with someone else or another organisation to really bring your vision to life.
This could be achieved by committing to engaging with the third sector early when developing opportunities to co-design interventions, mechanisms and funding plans. Making sure we have equitable representation and voice on strategic boards, developing culturally diverse infrastructure, and developing streamlined ways for the third sector to work in partnership on different levels. Commissioning and funding. Our ambition is for all partners to invest in who is best placed to co-produce and provide the service or support needed in the city. Commissioning relationships will be centred around trust, value, flexibility and outcomes, and are a partnership of equals. In Leeds, this can be achieved by embedding a shared understanding of good practice for commissioning consortia, continuing to promote opportunities for trust-based funding, which is grant funding with minimal reporting and focused around trust in organisations to direct funding to where it needs to be, improving partnerships and data sharing, and making sure that funding for ongoing work is wherever possible multi-year and recurrent, and that statutory grant or contract payments are upfront to support cash flow. Workforce. Our ambition is for Leeds to have a thriving local and diverse third sector workforce that's valued and remunerated for their work. Careers in the third sector will be attractive, sustainable and values driven.
I'm David Smith, I'm a trustee at Crossgates Good Neighbours. So a one-year contract is a very inefficient way of organising things, and it's so that when about half of your staff are on one-year money, it makes it much more difficult than it should be to manage your organisation across these neighbours.
In Leeds, we think this can be achieved by funding contracts and grants that enable the sector to pay real living wage, maintain stable contracts, learn and grow, promote third sector as a career choice, for example through job fairs and student placements, and monitor and take action on key workforce characteristics like diversity and low levels of pay. Volunteering. Our ambition is for Leeds to be a city that celebrates volunteering in all its forms and the benefits it brings to communities, organisations and individuals. It will be easy for people in Leeds to find ways to make a difference and get involved in the city. All partners will work together to support an innovative and diverse volunteering environment in Leeds.
Hi, my name is Hannah and I'm from Heritage Charity based on Mando Road. So number one is definitely volunteering. We're a very small organisation and we're heavily reliant on volunteers. There's probably about 6 paid employees, but the volunteers won't be able to do our work without them, even on a day-to-day basis, the running of our food bank and other campaigns. So I think that's very important to make them feel valued and also to be able to get the training that they need.
We think that this could be achieved by volunteer contributions being formally recognised and valued at a city level, ensuring long-term resourcing and support to manage volunteers, and through city anchors committing to actively encouraging skill sharing and volunteering, including trustee positions amongst their staff, and through city anchors committing to actively encouraging skill sharing and volunteering, including trustee positions amongst their staff. Social value. Our ambition is for partners in Leeds to agree that social value activities should be delivered with the third sector. Leeds will have a clear set of co-designed priorities for where social value activity will have the most impact. There will be clear routes for larger organisations to be matched with opportunities that create social value and to see the impact this has. By social value, we mean activities carried out by a business or organisation receiving public money that supports the long-term well-being of the communities they're working in. This could be through directly giving money to third sector organisations, sharing time, skills and resources with the third sector, or by sourcing staff or goods through the third sector.
Social value, because I think large organisations who are working on particular big contracts need to put something back into the community, and often that can be doing stuff like planting flowers, helping residents do their gardens. I just think people need to realise that, you know, if you're going to do large scale work in communities with all the disruption that it causes, you need to give something back, and I think it's just important to volunteer as well. It's another priority.
In Leeds, we think this could be achieved by first using our evidence base with third sectors forums to establish a set of priorities for social value activities where we think they'll have the most impact. Then, resourcing the brokerage of social value opportunities, including understanding contractors' values and aligning them with lead social value priorities, connecting contractors to opportunities with community organisations, and then communicating the impact of social value activity with the funding organisation. Inward investment. Our ambition is for partners in Leeds to have a shared understanding of the city's priorities for investment. All partners in Leeds will support the third sector to attract more external funding into the city and have a consistent approach to matching and utilising investment from different sources. This could be achieved by using our evidence base to identify priority areas for investment in the city, recognising the value of and creating conditions for more Leeds-based community businesses, investing in supporting forums for informal networks to develop, and investing in independent horizon scanning, bringing together the right people for different services and to support the bid writing process. A strong evidence base. Our ambition for Leeds is for all partners to commit to gathering, analysing and making data accessible about how the third sector in Leeds looks, how it's funded, what's working and what is not on a regular basis. Both quantitative hard data and qualitative insight from communities will be valued and used to inform decision making. Third sector and crucially communities themselves have the ability to identify gaps in knowledge, influence agendas and lead research in the city. This could be achieved through partners working together to identify a pipeline of key research and scope community-led research that supports the wider aims of the strategy, agreeing a set of principles for community-led research, exploring new ways to introduce this in our work, investing in the third sector's capacity to carry out research and evaluation, and for this research to have impact on decision making. Partners committing to investing in the core evidence base to inform understanding about the sector, its diversity and resilience. The final two ambitions link to wider city strategies, but describe the third sector's critical role in achieving them. Climate action. Our ambition is for the third sector to be an active partner in reaching net zero, increasing biodiversity and moving towards social as well as our environmental justice by creating capacity and empowering communities to take effective action in reducing carbon emissions and developing their climate change awareness. This change will be made in a just and democratic way involving all areas of the community. This could be achieved through resourcing for organisations to reduce environmental impact, engaging city partners through infrastructure to make sure there's a shared understanding of climate ambitions across the sector and to maximise collective action, and investing in the third sector's organisations to improve people's climate change awareness and actions. Digital. Our ambition is for Leeds to be a city where all communities have access to digital technology and skills. The third sector is key in digital innovation and accessibility, and partners invest in training, data sharing and systems to ensure the third sector can support communities who experience the most inequalities accessing digital technology. This could be achieved by making sure we co-design new projects with the third sector to support and include communities experiencing digital exclusion, by building better hardware and software systems to give parity to the sector, by investing in support and training for existing sector staff and volunteers, by enabling relevant third sector organisations to access and share information about people living in Leeds, and by improving access and quality of information about third sector services for investment in a shared digital information infrastructure. How will we deliver this strategy? The strategy ambitions will be delivered through the sector, working closely with partners across the city. Third Sector Leeds, the overall policy forum for the sector, will oversee the work plan for each year. The Third Sector Partnership Group, the strategic meeting for third sector activity, will be the body accountable for the strategy. Our aim is to jointly invest in ongoing work to understand the health of the sector through robust data collection and analysis, including the State of the Sector report. This will be invaluable as a benchmark to measure the success of the strategy going forward. We'll review the progress on the strategy annually, and the measures will include the number and size of third sector organisations, the typical income of third sector organisations, number of employees and registered volunteers, and the views and experiences of third sector organisations. This is an ambitious strategy at a time when we continue to face pressures and challenges across the city. But the impact of realising these ambitions will go far beyond these measures and will help to ensure we have a diverse and resilient third sector to support communities in Leeds today and in the future. If you would like to find out more about the strategy in detail or see some examples of good practice and innovation under each of these ambitions, please visit our website.